Ellie again, and today I would like to talk really about two main things. The first thing is sharing with you guys the story of my big chop. All of the juicy details of how the story played out, when I got it done, how it went, how I liked it, all of that fun stuff. The second thing is telling you guys what I did after the fact, when my hair was really, really short, how I styled it, what things I used, methods of styling that helped me out the most, and all that good stuff. So hopefully some of you out there with really short hair who either just have the big chop or are guys and just have really short hair, hopefully this will be helpful for you or educating, and if not, let's just pray maybe it's entertaining at the least. So here we go. Who? Me. This girl. That's obvious. What? Big chop. Also obvious. We'll skip all that and get down to when. So 5 years ago, little Ellie, was a freshman in college and decided that a big chop was what I needed. So 5 years ago, 2010, that's when it all started. Where? Just outside of Jacksonville. There's, just a small town in Florida. I was sadly impatient and didn't wait to go to a place that I did a ton of research on. I just went to the first place that was open who said they could style curly hair. We'll get into how it all played out later on, but just know I didn't do a ton of research, which was my fault. I went to a small town outside of Jacksonville and just went to like a walk-in place right there. That's it. So, why? I'd spent basically my whole life well, not my whole life, but since I was a kid, with relaxed hair. I grew up in a multiracial family, so my mom she didn't have hair exactly like me, let's just say that. So it was kind of easier for the both of us to just straighten my hair. It was a little bit easier to manage, just blow dry it straight and then just use a flat iron on it. I think I was probably like a junior or senior in high school and hadn't had a touch-up of my relaxer in a little while and started noticing some little spirals growing in. And I told my stylist that I just wanted to hold off on a relaxer. I was curious about what my texture was actually like, and lo and behold, I loved it. So I decided that when I got to college, out of my the city that I grew up in, when I was probably a little more comfortable taking more risks and changing up my appearance. It's a little bit harder when you're surrounded by all the people that you've known your whole life who expect certain things of you. And so I got there a couple months into college, went to this random city that I'd never been to before. Why? Again, I don't know, I should have done research. And had these two ladies who I don't think have ever touched curly hair in their entire life cut my hair. Well, only one of them cut my hair, but they argued about who's gonna have to do it in front of me. Yeah, I was terrified. I should have walked out then, I didn't, but that's okay, it makes for a funny story. And yeah, I guess story time, you guys get to hear what happened. Basically, I walked in, they argued about who was going to have to cut my hair, even though I called ahead of time, told them I had really curly hair, told them I was mixed, that I was going to need someone who was comfortable with ethnic hair, and that it wasn't just wavy curly, it was kinky curly, and they, assured me I'd be fine. Got there, was not the case, and she basically, took me to the sink, washed my hair, yanked on my hair like crazy in the sink, and then took me to the chair, whipped out her fine-tooth comb, and I freaked out. And I begged her not to use the fine-tooth comb, explained to her that it was going to rip my curls. She assured me that she knew what she was doing. Proceeded to use the comb. Of course, hair is falling out all over the place. It hurts. It takes her like an hour just to comb it all out, and I'm left with this like little, burrow thing going on with, jagged edges because all my hair is broken off. And then she takes the scissors and proceeds to cut a bowl, a nice little bowl around my head. How sweet. Anyway, So I had a little bowl, and I had a couple friends who had come with me to the hair salon, who were just sitting in the chair staring at me in awe. Their mouths were open the whole time. No one knew what to do or what to say. I didn't know what to say. I felt horrible. Like, I already knew that the stylists were uncomfortable with doing my hair, and I was already nervous and anxious and all that, so I just sat there in silence and let them do to my hair whatever they wanted. So by the end of it, I had a little bowl around my head, and the lady looked at me and was like, "So I don't really know what you normally do with your hair." Not that she was like a young valley girl, she was actually quite a bit older. I don't know why I used that voice. I did. Anyway, she just sent me back to the sink and told me to style my own hair in the way that I normally do. Even though I was paying her, you know, as a stylist. So I did. I went back to the sink, luckily with curly hair. You know, you throw some water and conditioner on it, it curls back up, and it's a little bit easier to cover up mistakes, so it just looked like I had, like, you know, a really short little cut. It didn't look that bad, you know, or as bad as it did when it was like combed out and all uneven and whatnot. But yeah, so I ended up, you know, just paying her and leaving and going home. I cried in the car, partially because, you know, now my hair is like 10 times shorter than it's ever been in my entire life. And then also partially because it was a horrifying experience. You know, like, I had these people doing my hair who had never done hair like mine before. They made me feel like crap about doing my hair, and it was just a lot. And, you know, I know that there are probably worse stories out there, but that's my story of how it happened. And it turned out to be one of the best things I could have ever done for my hair. Basically, when I had really, really short hair and it was like a couple inches long, I really did two main styles. I would do wash and goes and finger defining. Wash and goes, your basic wash and go. The thing about doing it with really short hair is that it wasn't a big deal to do it when you have really short hair because it doesn't take very long. I would just do it every other morning. I would skip the shampoo. I would either use a really, really cheap conditioner in place of a shampoo, or I would use like a cleansing conditioner, no poo, a co-wash type product. So do that, I would use my conditioner, and really, I would just leave my conditioner in. And the two main things, or the main thing, at least back then when I had really short hair and I was in college and I was in a rush all the time, was how quick it was and how much time or how much effort it required, how long it lasted. So this, you know, just washing my hair with a cheap conditioner or a cleansing conditioner didn't leave my hair dry. I would just finish up with a really enriching regular conditioner, leave it in there, and just go about my day. You know, it's so short that in a couple hours it would be dry, whereas if I tried that now, my hair would be soaking wet for like 6 or 7 hours. So that was probably the most convenient thing that I would do. And then the other thing that I would do all the time was the finger defining, like I said. And, you know, I have another video where I talk about finger defining your curls, or, you know, how I do it now. But back then, again, it's so short, the finger defining was not a huge deal. You know, you would do it, and it would take a little bit more time that one time, but then you're set for the next week or so. You know, and I would sleep on a satin pillowcase. The most I would have to do to my curls is wet my hands and just fluff them back up, you know. So it was just really, really nice, and, you know, having two main methods of taking care of my hair. The first being super quick, wash and go, just let it be wet for, you know, a couple hours that morning, and then just do that every other day, or at least that's what I did. And having one that I can go to quick, I know how to do it, I know how long it's going to last, and then having one where if I have a little more time, I'll put in a little more effort, and then it would last me a few more days. So those are really the two things that I did, and I just made sure to deep condition. I think I would do it like once every week, or if I'm feeling lazy, once every 2 weeks, just to make sure that my curls were really moisturized, because, you know, I was so used to having heat damage and damaged hair from the relaxers from before that I just really focused on making sure that I was taking care of all of this new growth. And yeah, so basically, you know, the 5 W's of my hair journey, or at least how it started anyway, my big chop, and then I gave you some tips at the very end. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, that this was helpful. Leave comments below if you have any requests of tutorials or videos, and hopefully I'll be able to make something for you guys soon. Bye! Thanks for watching!